Honorable Member of the Board of Governors, Mr. A.S. Gill, Honorable Director of the School, Major General Sanjeev Verma ji, distinguished guests, parents of the students, esteemed members of the faculty, staff, our bursar, Mr. Vikram Singh, amongst the audience, my batchmate, Mr. Manpreet Seni, dear young students, ladies and gentlemen. I'm extremely delighted to be associated with the 73rd Annual Academic Day of the school. I'm truly honored. And this honor is amply enhanced because this falls in the 75th year of the establishment of the school and the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav of the nation. In this occasion, I come forward to congratulate the director, the members of the Board of Governors, the faculty, staff, dear students, all stakeholders who are all interwoven together. Dear friends, about a fortnight back, when the director, sir, he called me on the phone and stated that he was extending an invite to be present on the academic day of the school. I took perhaps microseconds to accept it. I accepted it with open arms, wholeheartedly, and ever since I was looking forward to this day. Well, friends, I know it's a rare occasion, unique occasion for me as an alumnus of this institute to be standing, to be amongst you all on this great day. There could not have been an occasion bigger and better than this. I'm thankful to the institute, the school, mainly I'm thankful to the director, sir, because he has made me connect to my temple of education. I'm thankful to him. Thank you, director, sir. Balihari Guru Apne Jin Govind Diyo Milaye. Well, friends, it has also been an occasion to meet up my old friends. Our bursar, Mr. Vikram Singh, we have been close friends. We are from the same batch. Though I don't consider myself to be a guest to this school, what to talk of being the chief guest, I'm very much a part of this institute. But formally, if you look at it, I think this must be one of those occasions when the host and the guest, they happen to be from the same batch. Mr. Vikram Singh and myself, we have not only been close friends or from the same batch, or we were in the same house playing and cheering for the same team, but for a couple of years, we were even sharing the same cupboard in the dressing room. Well, friends, I had been in YPS for 6 years, from 5th standard onwards up to 10th standard ICSE. That was to say that it was the major part of my schooling. The most part of my childhood and those formative years. So whatever I got during those founding years, I have got from this school. This school has given me everything. It gave me my studies, my education, my exposure to cultural events, debating, drama, music. It trained me in sports. It gave me exposure in training, in trekking, exposure to adventure. To think of it, and we had it there. Fortunately, I was also a member of the Duke of Edinburgh Award scheme, and at that time is why it was a silver medal which was given, silver scheme. And sitting here, or rather standing on the dais or standing on the stage, I was really living all those memories. Everything and everything. Believe you me, the moment I entered the gate of the school, I got emotional. For quite some time, I could not hold back my emotions, seeing everything, the infrastructure, though it has multiplied manyfold, but nevertheless, I was reminded right from the gate, the building, the majestic building that we have, the big infrastructure that we have. Not many schools in the country boast of that. We are highly, highly fortunate. Indeed, fortunate are our students who pass through the portals of this school. I say this school gave me everything. Again, proverbially, it taught me how to fish. It is stated that if you give a man a fish, he will eat it at one meal. But if you teach him how to fish, he will eat all his life. This school has really given me the art of living. The founding has begun from this school onwards. This school taught me how to handle honor with humility, how to handle defeat and disappointment with grace. And I am thankful once again to this school for having given me all this. My feelings for the school at this stage, if I wish to describe, they are gratitude, more gratitude, and still more gratitude. When I say school, I say it's an amalgam of the director, who is the academic leader, the administrative leader of the school, the human resources, that's the staff, teaching, non-teaching, the students, co-learners, the system, the infrastructure, the opportunities, the facilities, everything. But if I have to pick up one by way of priority, or one set by way of priority, I would say it's the human resources. And human resources, single most factor is the staff, the teaching staff, the faculty. That makes me underline the role of a teacher in a school. That's the formative stage. After my schooling, I have been to the best colleges of the country. I had an opportunity to study in one unique engineering college of the state of Haryana. In fact, that was the only engineering college that we had in that state. I studied in a university. I had the opportunity, fortunate enough, to have gone to an IIT of the country, the leading one at that time, IIT Kanpur. I've been very fortunate to have got very good teachers. Very good teacher, very wonderful teachers. But even today, if you ask me, if I have to make a list of all those teachers and put them in an order of importance or significance, I would say all the school teachers, they fall in the first category of 1 to 10. Maybe for some of them, the realization must have come or came a little later in life, when I realized how they had touched and shaped my life. If I start naming, if I try to recall those by name, it will be very difficult. Not that I don't remember them, I remember them very vividly, very well. But then that list is too long, very long. All those teachers, they had really shaped my life. And today, standing here, I bow my head in reverence to all those teachers of this very school who have brought me to this stage where I am today. In fact, that takes me to underline the role of a teacher. This student-teacher chemistry is really a mystery. We don't know when it will happen, with whom it will happen, and why it happens. But we know for sure that when it does happen, miraculous transformations happen. I would like to exhort upon my teacher friends sitting here that in life we are known by our students. It's our students who bring a good name to all of us. If I start giving some examples, say Swami Ramakrishna Paramhans, he is known by his famous student Swami Vivekananda. How many of us do really know any other student of Swami Ramakrishna Paramhans? Samarth Ramdas, he created one Shivaji Maharaj, Chhatrapati Shivaji. But are we really aware of any other student of Samarth Ramdas? Sachin Tendulkar, Ramakant Achrekar created him. We may not be knowing many other players or students of Ramakant Achrekar. Here I would like to refer to the autobiography of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, in which he writes that when he was graduating from MIT, the Madras Institute of Technology, it was one of the very famous engineering institutes of the country. He says that at the end of the graduation, there was a ritual of having a group photograph. 3 rows of students and 1 row of the teachers in the front row. One of his professors, Professor Sponder, he was an Austrian professor teaching him aeronautical engineering. He got up, looked back at Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. At that time he was not doctor, pointed to him and asked him to come forward and asked him to sit beside him. He says, he is my best student. One day he will give me a good name. And he told him right there and then. And Dr. Kalam writes that yes, he felt a little embarrassed, but heart within he was very happy. That day only, almost he decided that he is going to prove him right. I would exhort upon my young friends, all those who got the prizes today, that they must go through this book of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the autobiography, Wings of Fire. Well, friends, for the teachers, I would say, in educational psychology, we come across one concept, what we call as Johari window. Basically, it is given by 2 scientists, Joseph and Harry. This window has got 4 window panes. The first one is something where he says about the students, basically with reference to the students, he says something that is known to the student and something that is known to others, known to self and known to others. Here others means could be teachers, could be the parents. Because to my mind, for a student, both are teachers. A teacher is a parent in the school and a parent is a teacher at home. So he said the first pane, the window pane, this is comprising of known to self and known to others. When the students were getting prizes here, we know the student is good in maths. The student knows it, the teacher knows it. This has been referred to as arena, something where it is known. But then the second quadrant, second pane is, he calls it blind, B. What is that? He says unknown to self but known to others. and this known to others is known to teachers. It's the teacher who can see through the mind of the student that, well, here is a student who is going to bring a very good name, a big name to the institute, or he is very good in maths, but the student is afraid of maths. So that is where the role of the teacher comes in. And then he is talking about the two more quadrants, calling them as C and D, closed and dark. I would not dwell upon those, but I would certainly request my teacher friends to work on this area, this part of students' philosophy. Something that the student doesn't know, but you know it. Student doesn't know that he can be a big actor. The student doesn't know that he can be a big musician. The student doesn't know that he can be a big scientist. But the teacher has got to know it. That's where the role of the teacher comes in. Well, friends, now when we talk about education, the three verticals of education, knowledge, skill, and attitude, despite ever-changing dynamics of education, these three have stood out to describe and define education: knowledge, skill, and attitude. Knowledge is, we know that. Though of course these days we have started confusing knowledge with information or information with knowledge. There's a lot of information flow. Earlier this used to be available in the library, now it is available with you in your mobile set. Google is giving you all that information. Let's not confuse that with knowledge, because information is just information. And then the skill, something that has got a direct association with your psychomotor skills, the communication skills. In the present context, the soft skills, analytical skills. But my target today, I am dwelling upon the third part, that is the attitude. That is something where we need to dwell upon now. What is that attitude? Attitude is adaptability, the lifelong learning, compassion, ethics, values, protection of environment. That is what is required now. For a while, I take you back to the previous century, when we were only talking about IQ, the intelligent quotient. The father of atomic bomb, Robert Oppenheimer, he was a student of physics. Very bright, very strong IQ. But then he created the atom bomb. He completed his program of 2 years of physics in 3 months. And his teacher had commented, look at this boy. This boy is either going to shape physics or this world. But we know he shook both. He gave that concept of the atom bomb. The engineers made it, and we know what disaster they brought to the world. Why? Because they knew only IQ. They did not know EQ, the emotional quotient. This gentleman, I should not call him gentleman, this scientist was nominated 4 times for the Nobel Prize, but the committee did not recommend his name. The invention was no less than any other invention, but nevertheless, because it brought catastrophe, disaster to the world, he did not consider, or at that time this concept was not there. So this concept of EQ has to be combined with IQ. Though of course nowadays we have even started talking of SQ, the spiritual quotient. Well friends, now the need of the hour is something wherein we have a combination of the two, a mind that feels and a heart that thinks. In fact, I was reading one of the Yadavindrians of the mid-70s, wherein the principal, Mr. H.N. Kashyap, had made a quote, and I picked it from there, and that was, it was about a parent writing to the principal of the school, that is, teach my students, teach my ward to sell his brain and brawn to the highest bidder, but never to put a price tag on his heart and soul. Well, friends, the present day students sitting here, they belong to the senior most class, is the 12th class, I believe. Those who have been born around 2005, an era in the country, in India, when the economic reforms which were set in the late 90s by Dr. Manmohan Singh, the then finance minister, they had started showing results. The country was gaining affluence. In simple terms, the country was getting richer. So dear friends, dear children, you belong to that era where there are ample opportunities. And a school like YPS is second to none in the country. You are fortunate to have been admitted and associated with this school. I believe that it is the best time to be young. It's the best time to be in India, and it is the best time to chase your dreams and excel. To end my talk, I will narrate a small story. That story is about the best academic student of the school who was to receive his award of the best academic or outgoing student on a function of this kind, that is the academic day function. This boy by the name Jay, he goes to his teacher whom he adores. He's a big teacher, wonderful teacher. And the chemistry between the two is wonderful. He goes to that teacher, and while he's waiting outside or reaches his office, he finds that there is another student, an alumnus, who is talking to him. And that alumnus is telling the teacher about his achievements, his family, and whatever he is earning. He is told that he made 18 crores the last year, and he is telling about the good old memories of the school, and the teacher is very proud of him. Before going, that student hugs the teacher and moves out. Now this best academic boy of the school of that year, he enters the office and he says, "Good evening, sir, give me an answer to my curiosity." He says, "What?" He said, "Sir, this boy who entered, or this alumnus who went out of your room just now, he was here 20 years ago. And he is a big leader in his field. Don't you sometimes feel that you have churned out so many students, but during all these years, you have remained a teacher? You have remained at the same place in the same school as a teacher." The teacher says, "Well, Jay, that doesn't surprise me. But you should always remember that the cause never compares himself to the effect. The parents don't compare their success with the success of their children. The teachers do not compare their success with the success of their students. The gardener does not feel jealous of the adulation that his plants receive, or the potter doesn't feel jealous of the appreciation that his pots or his creations are getting. So there is no question of feeling jealous about it. On the contrary, it will be an adharma if I compare my life or my success with that of my students. I am a creator, I am a designer, I have to create. Yesterday it was he, or 20 years back it was he. Today it is you, and tomorrow it's going to be somebody else. And then Jay says, yes, this is why you are such a wonderful teacher. So 20 years later, I'll also come back to you and tell you how many crores I'm making. Now once again the teacher says, don't talk in terms of money alone. Be a creator. Do something. If your work is your true expression, money and so many other things will come as a byproduct. Money is a very poor point of focus, but it's a wonderful byproduct. It is the creation fee what the life is giving you back, and money is just one of them. And then the student of ours, he asks, what if I do not talk of money? And what is it that, how do I measure my growth? Whether I'm growing or not? Then he says, yes. For that, you have to ask yourself 3 questions. 1, am I working to my full potential, to my full capacity? Question number 2, year after year, whatever I am doing, is it making any difference, or am I being useful to the society, to my fellow men? And number 3, each day you should ask yourself, whatever I am doing, is it taking me closer to my God? Then you are going to be successful. You have to be working for the society. Even a cow, a bull, a parrot, they all help the humans. Why can't we? Stop living this life of mediocrity. Just me, mine and myself. You have to be useful to others. That's what we are meant for. We are just useless, but we are not useless. And thirdly, he says, quoting from the Bible, he says, Mark 10.25 states that even a camel can pass through the eye of a needle, but a rich man may not be able to enter the kingdom of God. Here, rich man does not mean in absolute terms, but somebody who has amassed wealth by unscrupulous means. Lord Krishna was with Arjun because Arjun wanted the God with him. Duryodhan opted for the army of the God. And rest of it we all know, that's history. So let's not bargain God for the kingdom of God. So dear friends, you should always remember these 3 questions, and certainly you will be happily successful. Successful you will otherwise also be sure. But then for being happily successful, you have to be having an attitude that cares for the humanity. Well, with these words, I thank the school, the director, I compliment all the prize winners, the achievers for getting all these loads of prizes. I thank the director sir for having given me this opportunity to be associated with my alma mater, and I wish this school and our children sitting here all the very best and much more. Thank you. Thank you very much.